Good morning. My name's Adette Lacert. I'm with 9 3/4 Coaching. This is Wisdom Wednesday, and welcome to this session. We had a little bit of a technical blip to start, but we're okay. We are going through the Harry Potter series, and we are pulling out coachable moments. I'm telling you what they are, how they work, and how it might apply to you in your life. We are in chapter 14 of the Philosopher Stone. The chapter is Norbert the Norwegian Ridgeback. My tongue's a little tied. Wow. We're going to look at interpretation today. And interpretation shows up at the very beginning of this chapter, paragraphs 1 and 2. And I'm just going to read you those sections, and then I'll get into some of the nitty-gritty details on it. So it starts off, Quirrell, however, must have been braver than they thought. In the weeks that followed, he did seem to be getting paler and thinner, but it didn't look as though he'd cracked yet. And then the second sentence, our second bit is, whenever Harry passed Quirrell those days, he gave him an encouraging sort of smile. And Ron started telling people off for laughing at Quirrell's stutter. Now, what is that all about? Well, it really is about the interpretation that Ron, Hermione, and Harry have taken with regards to Quirrell. And they've gathered some information, some data, but it's not the full story. And because they don't have the full story, the way our brains work is it likes to fill in the gaps. It likes to create a fuller version of the story with all the details. And so they've made the interpretation that it is Snape that is trying to steal the Philosopher's Stone, and that Quirrell is actually trying to protect it and not letting Snape know the little bit of information he needs to break the charm that will let him have access to this Philosopher's Stone. And the interpretation is completely wrong. It's the reverse. It is Snape that is protecting the Philosopher's Stone, and it's Quirrell who has Lord Voldemort underneath of his turban protecting him. And it's his paleness, his thinness is because of this Lord Voldemort who is attached to him and draining him of his physical presence, of his energy. And so it's interesting how we take data, little pieces of information, we put them together and we create a story around it without it knowing whether that's actually true. So where might this be showing up in your life? Have you ever been ghosted? Yeah. And if you've been ghosted, you create stories. Well, why was I ghosted? What happened when I was ghosted? They must have done something, or I must have done something and they are the bad person, or somebody may have interfered. You create a story based on these little pieces of information that you have collected, and you create a more fuller story, a story that resonates. And then every time you see something that helps you justify that story that you created, you add that to your story. You keep building your story, and your story gets deeper and thicker and further from the truth, because you didn't get to the root of the truth. So I'm going to challenge you in the weeks that come. Where are you creating stories and interpretations about something that might be happening? Where are you not getting the full data? How could you work around that? Is it about getting in conversation and having some really authentic conversations with somebody and saying, look, I noticed this, and my brain is telling me that it might be this, but I want to validate that with you. I want you to tell me what's really going on, and I want you to be honest and authentic with me. Those are some really tough conversations, but I'm going to ask you to look at how true are the stories that you've created? How can you get to the truth of the matter? and having an authentic conversation, and move yourself forward in a more powerful way. I love to hear what you come back with, what thoughts you have, and it's just a kind of a really interesting element. Interpretations is just one part of a four-part piece on overcoming personal barriers. And these are barriers that we create for ourselves. So we will get into some of the other ones. The other ones include boggarts. We have boggarts, interpretations, assumptions, and society. And I call them the biases. And so I love to be able to explore all of these. If you want to learn more for yourself, please contact me. I do one-on-one coaching. I'm also doing some group sessions around the boggart, and we get to slay the boggart. If this is something that interests you, reach out to me, give me a call, send me a message, and we'll set something up. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and hope you have a great week, and we will see you back here same time next week. Take care.